Hello grade 4, this is Miss Susan. Today's topic and today's new chapter is a whole new chapter and the last chapter in our book. Our lesson is about perimeters, lesson 13.1. And our essential question is:
how can you use a formula to find the perimeter of a rectangle?
How can you use a formula to find the perimeter of a rectangle? And first you have to remember what is the perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around any shape. So it's like walking around the shape. So you have to make starting point and then walk around the shape and add all its sides to find the perimeter. So let's remember what is the perimeter of a rectangle and what is the formula that we can put for it. And formula here mean a standardized rule. Okay, so let's start.
Let's use addition to find the perimeter of a garden.
Let's read the example
Julio
first.
is putting a stone border around his rectangular garden. The length of the garden is 6 feet. The width of the garden is 4 feet. How many feet of stone border does Julio need? Let's unlock this problem.
Before unlocking the problem, we have to first find the clues or the givings or the question. First, he is making a stone border around a rectangular garden. So the shape here is a rectangle. The length of the rectangle or the garden is 6 and the unit is feet. The width is 4. So I have two different dimensions, which is the length is 6 and the width is 4. What does he want to find? How many feet of stone border does Julio need? So in this case, he wants to know all the stone border or the length of the stone border that he needs to find. This means all the distance around the shape, which is rectangle, and this means he wants the perimeter of the rectangular garden. So let's unlock this problem and see how we can find the perimeter.
A perimeter is the distance around a shape. To find how many feet of stone border Julio needs, find the perimeter of the garden. The shape of the garden is a rectangle. One way to find the perimeter of a rectangle is to use addition. Let's add up all the sides to find the perimeter. What is the first length?
So first, you need to walk around this shape, right? And you know its length and its width. Of course, its length, the same for here, is the same for up there, because the two sides here are, two opposite sides here are equal or congruent. In other words, the side here is equal to the side here. So if this side is 6, so this side also is 6 feet. So to find the perimeter, you have to walk around the shape. So put a starting point and then start walking around the shape. The
first length of the garden is 6 feet. What is the first width?
Okay, so first you will put 6, then you walk like that, 4.
The first width of the garden is 4 feet. What's the second length?
Then 6 again.
The second length is the same as the first, 6 feet. What about the second width?
Finally, this one, which is 4. So he walked like that. He made starting point here. He said 6, then 4, then 6 again, then 4 finally. So finally is 4.
The second width is the same as the first, 4 feet. When you add up all the sides, the total is 20. So Julio needs 20 feet of stone border.
Okay, so if you notice here, we have 2 lengths and we have 2 widths, right? It will be the same 4 here as the 4 here, and 6 here is as 6 here. So we have 2 of each dimension. Let's see another example.
You can use multiplication to find the perimeter of a rectangle and a square.
This means because of the rectangle have 2
problem.
of everything, we can multiply easily each dimension by 2, right? Instead of adding the same number 2 times. Is that the same? Yes. And regarding the square has 4 same size of sides. So all its sides are equal. So in this case, instead of adding the same side 4 times, I can multiply it by 4. So, and this is called the formula of the perimeter. So let's read the question before implementing the formula.
The length of a rectangle is 10 centimeters and the width is 7 centimeters. A square has sides measuring 9 inches. What are the perimeters of each shape?
So again, what are the givings here? The length of a rectangle is 10 centimeters and the width is 7 centimeters. So I have the 2 dimensions of the rectangle. And of course, if I have a length of 10, this means I have 2 sides equal 10. And I have another 2 sides or 2 widths equal 7. So this means I should add the 2 dimensions, then multiply them by 2. And that's how I can implement multiplication. A square has a side measure 9 inches and all the square sides are equal. And how many sides for a square equal 9? I have 4 sides of a square equal 9. This means instead of adding 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, I can easily multiply 9 by 4. And that's how I can implement multiplication in this formula. So let's see and show you how we can do that.
Think, how can you find the perimeter of a rectangle? A formula is a mathematical rule. You can use a formula to find the perimeter. The perimeter is equal to the product of 2 times the length plus the product of 2 times the width. You can also represent perimeter with a P, length with an L, and width with a W. Now, use the formula to find the perimeter. Write the numbers you know in place of the letters. What number is the length?
To find the perimeter, you have to add all sides of the rectangle. And I have how many lengths? I have 2 lengths, right? That's why I multiply by 2. Plus, how many widths? I have 2 widths. That's why I multiply by 2. Now, I have this formula. P stands for the perimeter is equal 2 lengths plus 2 widths. And that's how we can add all the 4 sides. 2 of the length plus 2 of the width. Please memorize it. Now let's fill this formula. P is the perimeter. This is the number that I want. 2 multiplied by length. What is the length? It's 10.
The length of the rectangle is 10 centimeters. What's the width?
And 2 multiplied by the width. The width is 7.
The width of the rectangle is 7 centimeters. The perimeter is equal to 20 plus 14.
If you add them together, it will give you 34. 34, and what is the unit here? Centimeter. So it will be the length in all of all sides will be 34 centimeters.
So the perimeter is 34 centimeters. Now, find the perimeter of a square. The perimeter, P, is equal to the length plus the width plus the length plus the width. This can be simplified to S plus S plus S plus S, since all of the sides of a square are equal. Simplifying again, the perimeter is equal to 4 times the length of one side. What is the length of one side of the square?
So if you know that the perimeter is adding all the sides together, and you know that S stands for side, and you have 4 same sides, and this means you can just implement the formula P is equal 4 sides. So now just fill the formula with S equal 9. So substitute it by 9.
The length of one side is 9 inches. What is the perimeter?
So instead of saying 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, we just say 4 sides. 4 nines. So 4 times 9 equal what? You can say timetable 4. or you can say timetable 9. So it would be 36.
So the perimeter of the square is 36 inches.
And what is the unit? The unit here is inches. So the distance around the shape is 36 inches.
Use a formula to find the perimeter of a rectangle and a square. Choose a formula for the perimeter of a rectangle. Next, write the measures that you know. Drag the numbers to complete the next line of the formula.
Okay, so if you know it's a square or rectangle, this shape is a rectangle. So what is the formula of the rectangle? 2L for length plus 2W. So 2L, L is 72, plus 2W. 2W is 2 times 30. So this will be 2 times 30 will be 60, and 2 times 72 will be, I guess, 144. So let's check.
Good job. 2 times 72 is 144. And 2 times 30 is 60, which is the perimeter. Drag the correct number into place.
To be 204. And the unit here is meter. So it is all in meter.
Correct. The perimeter of the rectangle is 204 meters. Use a formula to find the perimeter of the square. Select your answer.
All the sides of a square are 5. So how many sides do we have? 4 sides. So adding the 4 sides, or multiply s by 4. So if I multiply s, which is 5, by 4, so 5 times 4 will be 20. And the unit here is meter. So 20
Great
meters.
job. The perimeter is equal to 4 times the length of one side. So 4 times 5, or 20 meters, is the perimeter.
So please remember the formula. P for the rectangle is equal to length plus 2 width, because I have two different dimensions. And the formula for the square is 4s, because the same sides are equal. All sides are equals. So I have 4 sides, or 4 equal sides. So I multiply the length of the side by 4 to find the whole perimeter around the shape.
Now try your homework on your own with the personal math trainer. It includes the exercise you saw at the beginning of the lesson.
Thank you, grade 4, for watching. Hope that you found this lesson easy. See you tomorrow.
Reflecting tape the crew needs for the speed limit sign. See you soon.